The fourth generation fully redesigned is here. Regal Honda has given us the 2023 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive 1.5 turbo EX in your platinum white. This is going to be more bold styling on the exterior, iconic LED vertical lights for the rear, all LED in the front, refreshed interior coming from the Civic parts bin. Interior space has increased for head and leg room and cargo capacity. Standard 10-way power adjustments. 50% of the CR-Vs are going to be in the all-new hybrid powertrain, which is more powerful, and you get the best optimal gas consumption. Arrivals start with a Volkswagen Tiguan, a Subaru Forester, a Kia Sorento, a Hyundai Tucson. I mean, the list goes on. This is a very crowded segment, but fully redesigned vehicles are now here. Who's going to be better? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to go over all the specs and details starting now. The all-new Honda CR-V gets a more dramatic sport front, starting with your LED daytime running and headlamps. The chrome is going to brush into the gloss black for the enlarged grille. The stance overall is going to be 1.4 inches taller. Same ground clearance at 7.8 inches. The lower, I wish they did the gloss black. 18-inch multi-spoke alloy wheels. Behind it is going to have enlarged disc at 12.3 inches for the front, ventilated. 12.2 in the rear. It's going to be solid. A McPherson strut front suspension, a multi-link double wishbone rear suspension. Both the front and the rear will have your stabilizer bar. The same setup as your prior gen. You can add the flared out fenders or the HPD package, and the lower skirt has a little bit more of a rugged profile with the chrome around all of your window treatment. No gloss black, but you get the same color on the top for the mirror cap. Vertical signature LED tail lamps that is known for the CR-V. All-wheel drive badging underneath with the Honda, a lower roof spoiler with the matte black, and the matte black comes into the rear. You get grille pattern inside, no exhaust outlets, towing 1,500 pounds, just like the last gen. A long hood representing a more dominant stance, 58.8 to 41.2 weight distribution, a length at 184.8 inches, which is 2.7 inches longer than the prior generation, with the wheelbase at 106.3, which is 2.5 inches longer than the prior gen. This one will not be the longest in the category. That would be the Hyundai Tucson. However, this one slots to be the longest comparing to the majority of the rivals for a two-row SUV. Towing, Toyota RAV4 will be the best in class here at 3,500 pounds. Real-time all-wheel drive with intelligent control system, which means you can toggle through changing from a snow to a normal mode. Non-power to go inside, cargo, 39.3 cubic feet, which is 0.1 cubic feet more than the prior gen. We do have a 12 volt. To put the rear seats back at a 60-40 split, you have to do it right here. Since I'm tall, I can adjust them here. And once you do so, that's gonna maximize your cargo to 76.5 cubic feet, which is 0.7 more than the prior gen. The longest in cargo is going to be the Tucson by almost 4 cubic feet. 190 reasons I have to go start up. Give it some riz so you can hear that exhaust note. The all-new Honda CR-V back the performance with the same powertrain as before, a 1.5-liter inline four-cylinder turbocharged, producing 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque that's paired to a CVT transmission, achieving 27 to 32 mpgs. I'm imagining the 0 to 60 is still going to be around the 7.8 seconds because it's the same powertrain with a quarter mile around 16.1 seconds. Stopping distance 60 to 0 will be under 200 feet. This is kind of that sweet spot in the sense of it's not too long. So when you see the interior space that we're about to go into, it just shows that they finally are thinking about adults that's 6'3" to sit in the back. Let me know in the comments what you think about the all-new 2023 Honda CR-V. As we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the redesigned Honda CR-V, you're going to receive 38.2 inches of headroom, which is going to be more than the prior gen. However, the leg space at 41.3 is going to be the same. Bucket front seats cloth with 10-way power adjustments, and that's standard. Heated seats in the cloth with a contrast look to it. The dash fully redesigned. This is coming out of the parts bin of the Civic, but I do like how it looks because it's a very clean look for the air vents, and even on this lower tier here. 7-inch infotainment is standard with a 9-inch upgrade. On this side here, I wish they would have added that little piece here to make it more sport derived like they did there. 7-inch touchscreen infotainment. We have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, switch it to reverse. You have trajectory. It's a smaller screen. The 9-inch is going to obviously make it easier. However, you do have the multi-angular camera setup, and you can take the lines off if you need to make it easier for your reversing. Underneath it, your climate control settings. USB port A and C with a 12-volt and a large storage pocket. Driver mode select, like we were saying on the exterior, for your Econ, your Snow, or your Normal. The gear lever will get the leather wrap. Cup holders, you can fit probably a 32 ounce without any issues. You got another storage pocket here. It's soft for your elbows. Open up inside, and it's a deep storage pocket. 3-spoke steering wheel. It's multi-function. You don't have any paddle shifters. The gauge cluster can go through an array of information for the driver. You can also see for your all-wheel drive for the torque, where it's being distributed. Door panel, get your everyday materials, but I like that they add the pattern right here. One touch up and down for the front windows, soft for your elbows. It's a pretty decent storage pocket, and you get the CR-V badging on top of that speaker. Only thing that I dislike so far in the front is you have to option the top tier to get your wireless charging pad, and you have to go hybrid in order to get the premium Bose sound system that they finally integrated inside. We do have a moonroof. Let's see how I look in the back. For the back seats, I'm at 38.2 inches of headroom, which is more than the prior gen. 41 inches of legroom, which is going to be more than all the competition. Now, I have these seats set at a specific way so you can see how they are standard, and it's not very comfortable. To move it back, you have to kind of get like that, and then it just kind of throws all the way back. It's a lot more comfortable, except here I sit up, obviously. So we're going to try to set it in a medium. So that's about the happy medium. Because this is not the EXL, you're not going to receive any charging ports in the center. So for the back seat, you are losing quite a bit. Cup holders, 16.9 ounce. Because it's cloth material, it's pretty soft. Let's lift this up, slide over, and you can see you sit up just a little bit higher than you do on the sides. I would say maybe 3 inches higher up, but headroom is still no issues. Leg space, I am going to be against or right next to the back of the front seats in the position that I'd be sitting. Sharing feet, butt, shoulder space. It is a wider vehicle. It's a longer wheelbase, so that helps with the leg space and the ability to have 3 adults at 6'3", my dimensions in the back. Taking the 2023 Honda CR-V EX all-wheel drive out for our test run. The same powertrain, a 1.5-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder with 190 horsepower, 179 pound-feet of torque paired to a CVT transmission. The same suspension setup. So really, what's happening with these redesigns is it's a lot of aesthetics. Now, you will receive a all-new hybrid powertrain in which they're going to develop 50% of the market for that. So I do like that because you're going to get more power, but you get less towing. You're going to lose about 500 pounds. Inside, you do increase with leg space because you got 2.5 inches more of a wheelbase, 2.7 inches more of a length. Giving it a little go. Don't expect anything like an F1 or a NASCAR here. However, it does have the motivation to move you to point A to point B. You will get the drone note, but once you get up to speed, it's actually pretty quiet in the interior. So they have implemented a little bit better sound dampening. The windscreen is a lot bigger, but it's also wider too. So the A-pillars are pushed back, standard type of procedure that Honda does to give you the safety in the front. Nice things is you're getting standard 10-way power seat adjustments. Disadvantage, you have to go to the top tier to get the Bose upgraded sound system. You will not get navigation, you will not get any charging ports until you get to the next tier, which is the EXL. But let's see how well she really performs. It does filter in a little bit more road noise as you get up to a higher speed. So anything around 45 and under, it's going to be a little bit more quiet than the prior gen, but anything over 45, it's going to be louder than the prior gen. As for the dynamics, the steering wheel has a touch of weight to it. It's a bit boated. You're not going to do much dynamics with a 58.8 to a 41.2 weight distribution. You can still have a little bit of play with it. As you see, stopping comes to a good composed stop. They're larger brakes than the prior gen. Turn radius, this is a longer vehicle than the prior gen. Gets about right at 2.5 lanes, or 2 lanes. And you keep up with traffic fine. Now there is 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike, because anything more than that, I'd be buying this CR-V. The 3 things that I like about the vehicle is how bold the styling is on the exterior. Everything's LED. A dislike though is they're throwing this 7-inch screen everywhere. They should just throw this out and just put the 9-inch. You don't have to give me navigation because I have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and I understand. You go up the tier, then give me navigation. The second thing that I like about the vehicle is in the back seats. They fold back a lot more than the prior gen, so you could really recline and enjoy a long journey. The last thing that I like about it is you're getting out of the Civic parts bin this dash layout. 3 things that I dislike about the vehicle: you're getting a carryover powertrain, you're getting a carryover suspension. It's not a full redesign when you're getting these things carry over. The second thing that I dislike about the vehicle is this is nearly the longest vehicle, and it is longer than the Hyundai Tucson, and yet the Tucson has more cargo space. The last thing that I dislike is on the passenger side, your left leg will sit up a little bit higher because the floor isn't completely flat, and the gear lever is more towards the passenger than the driver. And I understand that they had to put the driving mode select here and, you know, some button functionality. However, it's just weird because you're kind of sitting like this, and you usually want to sit like this. I do like how much more storage that you have in the center though. They did an excellent job with increasing the storage capacity here in the center for just throwing things and whatnot, and you have extra storage spots. Even when you open up inside, it is a pretty deep storage. It is pushed back, so if you're shorter, you may not be able to use it. Comparing it back to the rivals, the Volkswagen Tiguan has a full refresh last year. That model is awesome. It's just going to be a little bit tighter if you option the 3rd row. If you option 2 rows, you can get a little bit more done. This one's going to have more towing capabilities, and realistically, performance numbers, don't even really think about those because this is an everyday vehicle. We're not driving a Ferrari, and we don't really need to go much faster than the numbers project, because all you're going to do is go to groceries, go to your work, and pick up your kids. This is not going on a track. Comparing it, just have to make a joke. Comparing it against the Subaru Forester, I like the Forester. It's one of those rugged everyday vehicles as well, but you're getting more standard amenities in this for the price point. Comparing it to the Toyota RAV4, I feel like I'm closer to the steering wheel in that model, so this extra length does help. This is also a more open concept, so comparing it against the Hyundai Tucson, that one's a little bit more closed in the front. Everyday vehicle. Performance numbers could have been better, but they do option a hybrid, which as soon as we get it, we will do a review on it.